Hello all, in this video I am going to discuss about the basic rights of Indian citizen. Let's move on to the presentation. First, let's see what is the definition of the basic rights of Indian citizen. Basic rights are essential human rights that are offered to every citizen irrespective of caste, race, creed, place of birth, religion or gender. These are equal to freedoms and these rights are essential for personal good and the society at large. There are six fundamental rights for Indian citizen: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and the right to constitutional remedies. Now let's see the rights one by one. The first one is right to equality. Equality before law. Article 14 of the Constitution guarantees that all citizens shall be equally protected by the laws of the country. Social equality and equal access to public areas. Article 15 of the Constitution states that no person shall be discriminated on the basis of caste, color, language, etc. Every person shall have equal access to public places like public parks, museums, wells, bathing ghats, and temples, etc. However, the state may make any special provision for women and children. Equality in matters of public employment. Article 16 of the Constitution lays down that the state cannot discriminate against anyone in the matters of employment. All citizens can apply for government jobs. Abolition of untouchability. Article 17 of the Constitution abolishes the practice of untouchability. Practice of untouchability is an offence and anyone doing so is punishable by law. Abolition of titles. Article 18 of the Constitution prohibits the state from conferring any titles. Citizens of India cannot accept the titles from a foreign country. The next one is a right to freedom. Freedom of speech and expression, which enable an individual to participate in public activities. The phrase freedom of press has not been used in Article 19, but freedom of expression includes freedom of press. Freedom to assemble peacefully without arms, on which the state can impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of public order and the sovereignty and integrity of India. Freedom to form associations or unions, on which the state can impose reasonable restrictions on this freedom in the interest of public order, morality and the sovereignty and integrity. Freedom to move freely throughout the territory of India. Through reasonable restrictions can be imposed on this right in the interest of the general public. For example, restrictions may be imposed on movement and travelling so as to control the epidemics. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India, which is also subject to reasonable restrictions by the state in the interest of the general public or for the protection of the scheduled tribes, because certain safeguards as are envisaged here seem to be justified to protect indigenous and tribal peoples from exploitation. Freedom to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business, on which the state may impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of the general public. Thus, there is no right to carry on a business which is dangerous or immoral. The next one is a right against exploitation. Exploitation includes the abolition of trafficking in human beings and beggar, that is forced labor, abolition of employment of children below the age of 14 years in dangerous jobs like factories and mines. Beggar practiced in the past by landlords has been declared a crime and is punishable by law. Trafficking in humans for the purpose of slave trade or prostitution is also prohibited by law. The next one is right to freedom of religion. According to the Constitution, all religions are equal before the state and no religion shall be given preference over the other. Citizens are free to preach, practice, and propagate any religion of their choice. Religious communities can set up charitable institutions of their own. Activities in such institutions which are not religious are performed according to the laws laid down by the government. No person shall be compelled to pay taxes for the promotion of a particular religion. A state run institution cannot impart education that is pro religion. The next one is cultural and educational rights. The cultural and educational rights are pointed out in Articles 29 and 30. Any community which has a language and a script of its own has the right to conserve and develop it. All minorities, religious or linguistic, can set up their own educational institution to preserve and develop their own culture. And the last one is a right to constitutional remedies. Right to constitutional remedies empowers the citizens to move a court of law in case of any denial of the fundamental rights. This procedure of asking the courts to preserve or safeguard the citizens' fundamental rights can be done in various ways. The courts can issue various kinds of writs. These writs are habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibitions, etc. That's all about my topic. Thank you.